Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Metropolitan Council 2001, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the Metropolitan Council 2001, Mr. Howard Gentry, Jr. Mr. Howard Gentry is the councilman at large for the Metropolitan Council. And of course, Mr. Howard Gentry, Jr., let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you.
And to tell you how delighted we are to have you here, Mr. Gentry. As a matter of fact, we've had an opportunity to talk to you on a number of other occasions.
Right.
We were privileged to have had an opportunity to have you on prior to your elevation, prior to your election as the councilman at large for the metropolitan government, and we were certainly delighted to see that you won that race. But now, what we'd like to do today, Mr. Gentry, is to talk about your background, your education, and to eventually have you to give us some information relative to what is going on now in the Metropolitan Council and why we ought to be concerned about certain issues. But first, let's talk about some things that perhaps many people already know about you, and you might be reluctant to repeat it, but nevertheless, let's talk about your background, your education, some of the things that eventually led you to the councilman at large for the metropolitan government.
Well, I was born right here in Nashville, Tennessee, matter of fact in North Nashville, and Meharry Hospital. And it's great to see Meharry Hubbard and General Hospital merging to create better health in this area and to maybe create a resurgence of the Meharry Hospital and Meharry Medical College. I lived here all my life, educated in the public school system, Murphy School, which is now an alternative school, Head Elementary, Washington Junior High, which is no longer here, Pearl High School, which is now Martin Luther King, and then I got both my undergrad and master's at Tennessee State University. So I was Nashville born and bred and was fortunate to have two parents who were very loving and very active in this community. My father is no longer with us, but he became somewhat of a legend, and I guess that's an understatement, at Tennessee State University and within this city. And
within this nation.
Yes, and across the nation. And my mother, who was, I guess during the time of his life, was the person behind the scenes, but the more I look at it and the more I see her now, she was really out front in her own right too, and she's doing great things with the community and with us and her grandkids in the city, and just a joy and an honor to be their child. And during my lifetime, my parents were involved in a lot of firsts in this city, and were very involved during the desegregation and integration of this city, and they had the guts to step out there and do things that were maybe a little different. And being their children, we were stepping right there with them, and that's why I felt that when I ran for councilman at large that I could do this, that I could be elected in that position that no African American had ever been elected in, and I felt confident that I had the background and the name recognition and the ability to do it, and we did it. So very proud of it. I don't rest on that at all, and really don't make a big deal of it anymore. Been there and done that. Now it's time to move on and be the councilman that everyone elected me to be.
You know, in looking at the Metropolitan Council, let's talk about the makeup of the council, because I think that periodically we like to have folks on to tell us exactly how that council is made up and some of the major things that the public ought to know about it, but somehow we've forgotten during the interval, so to speak.
You mean number-wise?
Number-wise, and some of the other things that you think that we ought to know about this council.
There are 40 council persons. 41 if you count the vice mayor, who kind of controls the show. 35 district council people, and so that means we have 35 districts within the metropolitan Davidson County area, and then you have 5 council persons at large, or council members at large, who do not have any specific district that they are responsible for, but basically have been elected countywide and deal with issues throughout the entire county. And so there are 5 of us there, and